coming straight at you for episode 8. This is Just Okay Movies.
We're just okay and we play some
Movies.
games. We're just okay.
Movie watchers.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Just Okay Movies. I'm your pal. I'll buy that for $1 biggie size. And I'm joined by...
Hey guys, it's me, Cannon, Sniper Cannon Guido.
What? Wally.
Hey, I'm the 6000 SUX lover #1 car in old Detroit Millpool.
Yo, what is up, everybody? It's NA5TY.
Oh shit!
Oh,
is that the new model?
Oh, God.
Whoa, yeah.
No one
It's the new
provoking.
Super Soldier.
Well, guys, how y'all doing today?
Wally.
Remember that car in the movie, the 6000 SUX?
Yeah,
I
sucks.
did. That was a good reference, man. Good
What was
callback.
that?
Yeah,
that just
everybody
like
was clamoring over that
definition?
car.
8.2 miles to the gallon.
Well, guys, we watched a little movie called Robocop, and oh my goodness, it's just a blast. This movie is so much fun. If you want a good, solid, it was 80s, wasn't it? Or was it late 70s? I can't remember.
It's
87.
80s.
Okay.
87.
Action, 87. Action film.
87.
Okay, 87.
Okay, I won't give you what the exact year is. Get fucked.
87.
Okay, I think
1987.
I'm getting confirmation it was 1987.
It was 88. Fuck y'all.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
No, it was 87.
a 1987's action flick, you can't go wrong with Robocop. I mean, I would rank it up there with some of the more classic 80s action films like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, ones like that. Although with way more of a sci-fi twist, which really
Millpool?
tickled my fancy.
How
Yeah.
would you think this holds up against Battlefield Earth for you?
Oh boy, do you want me to do my ranking up front?
Not the whole thing. Just, I want 1-to-1. Die Hard,
Oh.
no holds battle. This movie versus Battlefield Earth for you.
Wait, Die Hard is in there as well?
And Die Hard, yes.
Oh, shit.
Boy, this is tough.
Dude, that just got way different.
I mean, can you imagine if Battlefield Earthman was RoboCop? What's his name? John Travolta.
John Travolta.
Oh,
What
my
if you
What's the
God.
character's
Robocop.
name?
This would have been way different.
In Battlefield Earth?
Yeah, can you remember the character's name?
Oh, shit.
Glorf or some shit like that,
I
right?
don't know, Falcor? I don't know.
Glorf. I think it was Glorf.
I'm going
Yeah.
to
Was it
real
Glorf?
quick.
Yeah, it was definitely Glorf.
Was it really? Holy shit.
Commander
Yeah,
Glorf.
good job, Nasty.
Holy fuck. I can't remember a game that I grew up with on trivia last week, but I can fucking remember that dumb movie.
It wasn't fucking Glorf.
Why not?
Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and jump straight into it. Now, Millpool,
Yeah.
would you mind giving us a little just run through of RoboCop? This was Millpool's pick, actually, for the wheel.
It was Turl.
Turl?
That
His
sounds
name's
right.
Turl.
Turl?
I like
Which is
Glorf
pretty similar
better.
to Glorf.
It's like, it's like someone from the deep south saying like Tyrael. Turl.
I
Turl.
got my
Material.
Turtle figure.
Turl.
What? Run through?
What?
Is that what you said?
Go ahead and give us a run through.
Oh,
of
I'm so
RoboCop.
bad at this.
No, you're good, man. No, just do the best you can.
So it's 1987, the year.
Oh.
I think it's 1987.
Yep, 1987.
Actually, it's not 1987. It's a dystopian future,
It's a dystopian 1987.
as perceived by 1987.
Everyone lives in old Detroit, right? They call
Yeah,
it
the
old
whole
Detroit.
world lives in old Detroit.
Well,
Well,
everyone.
as far as RoboCop is concerned, all the criminals live there. At
the
least.
entirety of the world's criminals.
Fun trivia about this movie. It was actually shot in Dallas.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Takes place in Detroit, though.
I think Dallas at the
Oh,
time
that's
was the
fun.
most modern looking, maybe.
Possibly. It couldn't be cost. I would imagine Detroit would be way cheaper to shoot in than Dallas.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for that fun trivia, Guido.
Yeah, sure.
So lots of crime in old Detroit, and the police are owned by a corporation called what are they called?
OCP.
OCP.
Omni Consumer something products.
That's something like that. Yeah.
So the police are run by this corporation, and there's a lot of crime, and a lot of cops are dying, and what else happens? There's a robot at some point. A man
there's
gets turned into a robot.
Yeah, a Robocop, if you will.
Wait,
A
what?
policeman.
Well, RoboCop comes later. The first is ED-209, which fails because RoboCop's a better idea.
Well,
Yeah.
he fails because he kills a board member. I don't really know.
Yeah.
that.
Hold on.
Is he a
Before
board
we
member?
can we yeah, he does. Can we before we proceed just talk about just the lack of any kind of intuition or intelligent thought from any single person in this movie?
Yeah.
They're all like
Yeah.
Oh,
exaggerated,
absolutely.
like greed and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Wait,
Paul
what do you mean?
Verhoeven, like at his core. The characters that he puts in his film are very like, what's even the word? Like, I don't want to call them idiots, but they kind of are. What would you? Because I get the same feeling from Starship Troopers, which he also did. You know, they're very set in a particular almost trope, and they stay in that trope through the entire
camp,
film.
maybe?
Camp, yeah, it's very campy.
Yeah, but it's so stupid. So they're in this
I'll play
fucking
that for $1.
they're in this boardroom and they're like, "Hey, there's this one dude, this old guy. Dick is his name. He's the
He's
antagonist of the
literally called
movie.
the old man.
Yeah.
The antagonist of the movie's name is Dick.
Like a penis?
It's Dick. It's Richard something.
Yeah.
But they call him Dick. And he's like, "Hey, I got this robot here. It's top of the line. It's going to clean the streets up. Here, let me give you a demonstration. Jim, if you will, come here, hold this gun, and threaten the robot."
With the giant
And
gun.
Yeah, with the giant chrome gun, like polished chrome gun.
Two Gatling guns.
And filled with ammunition.
That they
Yeah.
keep on its own little stand on the side, like it's meant to be in the boardroom.
Yes. Yeah, in a box, like in a cigar box. And he gives him the gun, and the machine's like, "Stand down. Drop your weapon now. You have 20 seconds to comply." And the guy, he's like, "Oh, fuck. I'll put the gun down." Before Dick says, "You better do what he says." So he puts the gun down, and he's like, "See, it works. It made him put the gun down." And then the machine says, "You have 10 seconds to comply." And then they're like, "Oh shit, he's gonna shoot him." And this guy starts running all over the boardroom, like putting people in front of him, which is probably what I would do.
Fuck
Oh, yeah.
kill
Oh,
him.
Yeah.
And eventually comes conveniently right before the window of the 38th floor of this high-rise building, and just gets pumped full of lead. And the thing about this movie is like all the gunshots are super like
Oh, it's a
brutal.
gore fest.
Bloody.
Oh,
yeah.
it's great. Back when the old blood packets and stuff.
You know,
Oh.
for 87, this movie was definitely ahead of its time in that regards. Like the special effects, I feel like.
Oh, sure. Oh, they put a lot of
yeah.
care into them.
I mean,
Did
this
you know
movie
that-
looked newer than Battlefield Earth.
I
Yeah.
think RoboCop was one of the last movies to use the old Harryhausen effects with some of the ED-209. That's like a scale model, like on the stairway scene and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that the difference between actually using something physical versus something digital. You know, it was one of the last films to do that, or it was part of the
Definitely.
transition of films to digital.
Yeah.
ED-209 being I guess, almost the secondary bad guy. It's a big robot, and they use stop motion animation to animate him, and it does. I mean, other than it looking choppy and a little dated in that regard, but still, it's nice to see something physical, in
Right.
the room, and everyone's reacting to it very genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. If you haven't seen RoboCop, it doesn't look good
It doesn't look great
anymore.
No.
It
But
doesn't.
it
hold up.
Parts of
definitely-
it look pretty good.
Right.
Like Robocop's makeup near the end when he takes his mask off, I thought it looked pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm speaking strictly of 209 or whatever the fucking big robot's name.
yeah,
is.
Right.
The stop motion animation,
Which for some reason growled and barked like a dog.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
Yeah,
And
It's-
it cried, didn't it?
it squealed like a pig when it got
right,
injured.
its
Fell
body
down the
blown
stairs.
off.
One
I like
thing,
when its body gets blown off and the legs are just walking around. That was a good part.
the anti-tank gun.
Yeah.
But want to mention one thing though in terms of that weirdness. Remember one of the failed ED209s? Like they did like a camera reel of ones that didn't work before they reached this point, and it was like there's like that view screen comes up and it's just a guy's face going. All I could think of is Guido's face in there. It's some kind of like gimmicky video thing.
I don't remember that part.
They had like prototypes of RoboCop, I think. Is
Yeah.
what it was.
So in this guy, he gets murdered in this boardroom, pump full of lead in front of 20 people.
Yeah.
And they all just like, someone's like, someone call an ambulance. And then they get up and leave.
Yeah.
I think someone cracks a joke right at the end before they leave too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was that douchey guy who's a part of the Robocop program.
Yeah.
Right.
We have two board members. One of them's a little higher up who wants to push the ED209 program because he wants
Senior
to
Vice President.
Senior, that's it. He's second in command, right under the old guy, and he wants to do ED209 because he wants to sell it to the military, sell parts to them, all that stuff. He has to give a shit if it works or not. Whereas the other board member, he's part of the Robocop program, and he wants to fully outfit a police officer with cybernetic limbs, armor, weaponry, and so that way they have a human conscience, and they're not having to rely completely on an algorithm. And so you got these two people kind of butting heads. And what I love is they're both dicks. Like, they're both terrible. You kind of want to back the other. It's like picking your poison in a way. Like, they're both bad, but one's not as bad as the other because his contribution did bring up something good with RoboCop, but still he's a complete asshole. And they're all terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe the head of the Robocop program, after the board member got pumped full of lead, he was in the elevator and he says to the other guy, well, he's like, well, that's life in the big city for you.
Right.
Or something like that.
That's not the big city that I know. If so, that would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of plot holes. Like, the whole script seems like it was. My impression was like it was like written by a 15-year-old boy or something. Like, they put action before everything else, which made for an exciting movie. But
It's really
yeah, there's
weird.
like no one ever seems to question why this big corporation is running the police department and why they're putting robots out on the street. Like, the news covers it and they're just like, oh, there's a robot now. I wonder if he's good or bad. Hopefully this works out.
I mean, they deal with this in very, very small vignettes that aren't even worth conveying. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the mayor sells the rights to use the police department to Omni because the police department's out of money.
Oh, the mayor becomes a hostage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The core of the film is, the first thing they had to do was make you like the RoboCop, and I think they did a good job with that. The character, I mean, I forget the actor's name. He's, nothing
Zeller?
special. Is that it?
It's Peter Weller.
Weller.
He's kind of an average Joe cop that, in a very sad incident gets his limbs blown to pieces and shot in the head, but somehow survives.
First day on the transfer to a new district.
Yeah,
He comes,
some
meets
fancy
his partner.
gun work.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like the whole movie is about the progression of him, like the humanity creeping back into this this Robocop.
Right.
And at the first sign that you see that he has something inside that's still Murphy, which is the cop's name, is when he turns into Robocop. He's at the shooting range, which is stupid.
And he holsters his gun.
Yeah, he holsters his gun and spins it around, and his partner, who is his partner for one day, is like, "Oh,
one day.
That must be Murphy. He spun his gun. Murphy's the only one that spun his gun like that."
Okay, so there is a comedy troupe in Florida that this is like really early internet. They're still down there. I think it's called Go Comedy. And they did a fake Robocop musical, and they recorded tracks for this musical, and they did it in the style of Andrew Lloyd Webber. And one of like the iconic songs, and you can look it up on YouTube, is Murphy, It's You.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
And that's the scene that they sing, and it's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, I'm going to check that out. That's a Robocop musical, and that just sounds wonderful.
Yeah, Google it later on YouTube. It's great.
Yeah,
Will
but
do.
Murphy on his first day on a new transfer, just happens to run into Red Foreman, and
The leader of like the bad guy clan.
right, Kurtwood Smith is his name.
I like Red Foreman better. That's what everybody probably knows
Yeah.
him as.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's a good bad guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is. He's
This
creepy as
movie
hell.
was full of character actors, like the Boardman, the guy that sells the RoboCop thing and becomes, rises through the ranks and is super cocky. Dude's been in so many movies, and you recognize him, but you have no idea what the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Right.
The villains for me, like the guy that murders Murphy. I mean, I've clearly seen him somewhere before, but I wouldn't know his name.
That's Red Foreman from 70s Show.
Yeah.
I see, there you go. I knew I saw it from somewhere. I couldn't place it because it was enough golf of a time. He was really young in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
very.
At one point in Robocop, he does say, "God damn it, Eric,
Yeah.
go do your homework.
Yeah. He does say
Stop
that.
jerking around."
Stop jerking
I'm gonna
around,
beat
you
your
dumbass.
Yeah, that's
And you're like, oh, classic Red Foreman. Classic Red right there.
Totally.
And then Ashton Kutcher shows up and is like, hey, let's smoke some pot. And Mila Kunis pops out and she like starts
says-
flicking her bean.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. You didn't see that? It's really fast scene. They're all sitting in the abandoned factory in a circle, in the smoke circle, like they did on 70s Show.
Yeah, jerking each other off under the
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah, jerking each other off. It's crazy.
yeah, it was a nice callback.
Yeah. Well, call forward, really.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's that '70s show.
Oh, yeah, and this
This
is
movie came out in
87.
fuck.
1987.
You're right. But anyway, Murphy is chasing Red Foreman down with his brand new partner. Been on the job for really about 30 minutes. Just enough time to go to his locker, get a vest, get in his car, and run into this horrible villain.
And die.
Right. He said they essentially
Whoa,
storm.
spoilers.
They storm the
Oh, shit.
warehouse. They follow him to a warehouse and they storm it. And the first thing they said,
My favorite part though, they're in a car chase before they get to the warehouse, and
Oh yes.
the way that he goes about dealing with this car that's escaping is he has his gun and he says to his partner, he's like, "Give me your gun also," and then he hangs out the window with two guns and he's just like shooting at the truck.
yeah,
And
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
in the truck, there's 5 guys and they all have shotguns. They're having this firefight. It's so ridiculous.
I think the most iconic moment from the scene, I think it's the same spot, is when he hits the mutant with his car.
Oh yeah.
no, that's the very
That's a little
end.
later.
That's
Yeah.
the very
That was-
okay,
That was
okay.
really good.
Yeah,
Oh my
but
God.
Red Foreman does say something along the lines of like, "Hey Jimmy, did you put your wings on today? Because you're going for a fly." And then he throws him out the back of the truck onto the cop car.
Yeah.
But they get to this warehouse,
And that's what eventually like deters the cop car, but then they get to the warehouse and they all just start relaxing immediately. Like they
Yes.
don't look
Oh, yeah.
to see if the police are still following them or
Right.
anything. They literally turn
Instantly.
on a TV and like start watching a television show.
yeah, and break up into different sections. And
One guy just starts peeing.
yeah, but the first thing that the police do when they arrive to this factory is like, okay, see you later, and they split up. They go.
So
one goes
ridiculous.
upstairs and in a door. The other one goes like off screen somewhere. And they're like, okay, this is what policemen do. We don't call for backup or like
They call for backup. But
Yeah, they didn't get it though.
No, they're
Oh.
like, backup won't be here for 10 minutes.
Fuck it, we're going in
Let's
anyways.
go anyways.
on our own.
Yeah, it's split up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
the most important scene in the movie makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
This is like the setup for everything.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the chick gets knocked out, and then Murphy comes across two guys, and he's like, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." That's
Like
his
from a
catchphrase.
dick.
Yeah.
That's his catchphrase for the movie.
Yeah. then he
Which is a
swings his
great
gun around.
catchphrase. I love it.
And then he just gets shot. Red Foreman comes and does a little monologue, like, "Man, do you like me?" And he's like, "I think you're slime." That's what Murphy says to him. And then Red Foreman's like, "Well, that's the thing. Ain't no cops like me. And then that means I don't like cops." And then he shoots his hand off. Poor Murphy. It's a heartbreaking scene.
Oh, it is, and the effect on it's fantastic. I mean, it's pretty gory.
Yeah, he stands for quite a while after taking several shotgun blasts to the
Yeah.
chest.
Probably like 20 to 30 shotgun blasts directly to the
Jesus.
body.
It gets his
still, like,
limbs
breathing.
blown off, like gets his arm blown off, his leg blown off. Jesus.
Yeah. So the bad guys get away. And smash cut to Murphy having these you're in his perspective, it's first person in Murphy's eyes. He wakes up in various hospital rooms. First, he's on the operating table. Second, he's in like a lab. And people are kind of poking and prodding him and saying, "Oh, we got to get the programming up to date," and bullshit like that. And there's this one scene where they're celebrating New Year's Eve, and the lady who you assume is like the lab tech head comes up and gives him a smooch on the visor, right on his eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
And she's all drunk and shit. And then it's time to unveil him. Very quick. They don't have any kind of testing sequence or anything.
No, just fire him up, boy.
Oh yeah, let's just get going.
Might as well hook him up to jumper cables and flip a switch.
See, that's what I love about 80s action films. Let's get to it. Let's not beat around the bush and say, this is Emmy-worthy acting or anything. We're just gonna get straight to the killing.
Yeah.
Kill him.
And they do. Like his first day on the job, he thwarts a gas station robbery by basically shooting the whole place up. Just,
we gotta talk about his gun at some point too.
right. Go ahead. Talk about his gun.
It's supposedly a 45 caliber semi-automatic handgun. That
Yeah.
has a round, a clip-fed round of indeterminate size.
Yeah.
What you mean by that is infinite size.
Yeah, infinite, and it's a clip bed going semi, which at that caliber, I mean, I get he's a robot, but like he could probably break off his arm or something firing at that rate of fire.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. Well, first
It's awesome though.
I think he thwarts that rape first.
no, he
That's
thwarts
his-
the rape second. I
Oh,
took
yeah,
note of
yeah.
this.
You took notes.
I pay
Yeah,
attention
right.
to
The
rapes.
gas station.
He
With
does
the
the gas
safe?
station first. Yeah, the safe hidden under all the beer cans.
It's just a stack of beer cans. Like, how do you even get to the safe?
he removes the beer cans
He
every
drinks all the beer every night.
night. But just destroys this poor mom and pop gas station. With his gun.
Yeah.
And ends up like clotheslining a guy into one of the freezers.
Right. Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, he was already beat. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And then immediately,
like most of the criminals that he thwarts, he ends up throwing through windows.
Oh, very much
one way
so.
or another.
Oh yeah.
Immediately, his rape sensors go off once he leaves the store.
Hold it, creep.
And he finds two young ruffians cutting the hair off a blonde lady.
That's what
And-
you do.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, how would you like some hair?" And the other ruffian's like, "Yeah, give me some hair." And then he's like, "But wait, there's more hair down there." And he points to her crotch.
This is like a Just Okay Gamer skit.
This is. Not everybody's gonna know where we get our shit from.
Yeah. Robocop. It's all Robocop.
It's always been RoboCop.
So he fucking starts lifting up her skirt and to cut her pubes off. It's the strangest sexual assault I've ever heard of. And thank heavens, Robocop himself shows up. And what happens then?
Shoots the guy's balls off.
Fucking
And then
Yes.
he leaves, I think, after that. Like,
you
he
have to
doesn't.
say it's a. Oh, go ahead.
No, he just doesn't he leave? Like, he doesn't
No.
do anything else. He just shoots his balls off and then
She-
leaves.
She runs to him and is like, "You're my hero," and he says like one of the best lines in the whole film. He's like, "You have been through a traumatic experience. I will alert the nearest rape center."
Yes. Yeah. And then cut.
Cut. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Back in the car.
There's this awesome skit comedy that I saw a long time ago of just that scene of RoboCop where the ruffians are there. They're trying to rape the girl. Same thing, same premise setup. And he shoots the guy's dick off. And then, like, out of the woodwork, another guy comes up and he's got his dick out. And he's like, "Wait, I'm going to rape this girl." And then he turns and, like, shoots that guy's dick off. And then another guy, like, drops down from a ladder and he's like, "No, it's my turn." And his dick is hanging out. And he shoots his dick off. And it's just this army of guys with dicks out flapping around. And he just starts shooting other dicks off. And it's super explicit, too.
What I love about it is that it's not just intentional. He uses a target reticle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that whole sequence, like, you just go through a huge sequence of him fighting crime, which is what you want to get to. I want to see a RoboCop fighting crime, damn it. And
Right.
we get a smorgasbord of different situations that are all great. I think the hostage situation was a lot of fun. Because they're like, they're trying to negotiate with this guy, like, "Oh, I want a car. Okay, we'll give you a car." And it's just really elaborate. And RoboCop goes into the building, sees him through like a thermal scanner, and just punches through the wall and grabs him and then throws him out the window. Oh my god. It's so much fun.
There's a lot of bodies going through windows in this movie.
A
Yes.
lot.
Well, it's bookended by it, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the movie ends with the bad guy going through a window.
Yeah.
And the overall plotter, the main bad guy, ends up being the one with ED-209. And RoboCop learns this after going after Red Foreman when he's punching to death. Like, "I'm working for this guy. You can't touch me. I'm working for this guy at OCP." So RoboCop goes to try to arrest him. But the problem is, since RoboCop was made by OCP, the bad guy put a program in him that he can't arrest people
Fourth
who work for the
directive.
company.
Yeah,
the fourth directive.
Which they allude to at the beginning of the movie. It comes up on his screen reading and it says, like, first three directives are like protect the peace, uphold the law, something else. And then directive number 4, it just says like classified. And then
Right.
you find out at the end what it is.
Oh man, I wondered the whole movie, what could that possible directive be?
I thought it was like throwing people through windows.
Oh.
Yeah, he surely fulfilled that directive if it was that.
Did he ever actually arrest anyone? Like he brought
the
brought
one
Red
dude.
Foreman in.
That was the only
And
one,
he's
though,
like-
I think, right?
Yeah, he just like throws him into the police
Right.
station and just like book him.
He often said, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me," but no one ever went with him, dead or alive.
No, he just left them there.
Yeah, with their poor dicks shut off. All they wanted was a little sampling of pubes.
I feel like, when I imagine, which is so funny since this film was, 30 years old now, or give or take? 25, whatever. I don't know how Detroit was then, but that's kind of how I imagine Detroit now. And I find that kind of funny.
Yeah, like, doesn't Detroit have a Robocop statue?
They're trying. I don't know if they actually finished it.
Oh,
but
they don't have it yet?
Oh, really? Oh my god, that's crazy.
But the whole movie, like,
do,
paints
actually.
a very bad picture of Detroit.
Oh,
Right,
it's
right, right.
terrible.
Detroit is just full
This
of
was-
criminals.
This is like the projection of what Detroit was to be after all the freaking like auto industry left.
Right.
Yeah, but I think at that point, Detroit was still booming.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was an eerie prediction, I guess. But anyway, the statue's coming along. It's gonna be the legs are done, the head's done, the arms are done, so it's almost put together.
It's almost time.
Yeah, the legs
So
are almost
assemble
the
the
size
real?
of like a man, by the way, to give you a sense of scale.
Oh, wow. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Did they say where they're putting it?
I don't know. I think somewhere downtown.
Cool. Man, I might have to go make a pilgrimage. We should make a
Yeah,
just okay pilgrimage.
Everybody goes there.
to go see RoboCop statue. But the bad guy ends up unleashing the ED-209 on him, but RoboCop's able to get away with the help of his lady friend, because she gets beat up pretty badly. It's like the one thing that can stop him. And
It's more the stairs than the lady.
yeah, the stairs did do a little more work than the lady. That's
I thought
true.
that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Where the ED-209 can't go downstairs.
I thought it was pretty funny. It kind of keeping on point that this robot really blows. Almost by design, what they kind of allude to. But I thought it was kind of weird that the place she wanted to take him was the known hideout of the people who killed him.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
to the
How do
factory.
you
gotta-
not know this?
You got to bring back the flashbacks.
Like, the bad guys stay there, but you're gonna take him back there. More than likely they had the place rented. They're like, let's just shoot 2 big scenes here.
Yeah.
This is all
Save
that we
some
got.
money. Because it looked like it was the same day and everything.
Right.
We're on a
For
budget.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Those scenes were shot back to back. 100%.
At least in the same week.
But then there's this very satisfying scene of him after he fixes himself up a little bit. He basically murders, 50 or so people in a sweet gunfight. Right?
RoboCop?
RoboCop?
Unleashes.
Does he? He kills like the 5 main thugs.
Oh, are you talking about at the crack house? Or
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah, that does happen. He goes and murders a cocaine distribution facility. And that's a little bit before when he
It was before. Okay.
when he catches Red and turns him in. No, that's a great scene. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
But
So-
sorry, go ahead.
Just fun gunfights. They're fun. They're not the best looking in the world. They're not shot great. It's a lot of
Right.
quick smash cuts to people just basically falling backward with splat packs, but
Right.
it's good old wholesome fun.
Right, it is. If you're wanting to see an action film that has a sci-fi setting, and you like films like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, stuff like that, this is a fun film and it's worth watching. It's fantastic. The ending is super satisfying. He goes to the OCP building. He shows the damning evidence against the second in command.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. And shoots him out of the window. It's fantastic.
Well,
Mhm.
before he can shoot him out, because he can't act upon the OCP guys.
Right.
So he shows the damning evidence, and before he kills the guy, like, because he can't do anything, the main OCP guy in charge has to fire him first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
Even
says,
though he has a gun up to his head, like, give me a chopper.
Right,
I want
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. So he says, "You're fired." And then Robocop is like, "Thanks." And then he shoots the guy out the window.
Thank you. I've been waiting for that.
Yeah. That
Nice
was good.
shooting, son. What's your name? Why would you ask that?
Yeah, that's the
Shit,
last-
You know who the fuck he is?
His name's Robocop.
Yeah, you made him.
Fucking bullshit establishment question that shows he got his humanity back from one person who wouldn't be asking that fucking question.
And the sidekick, the black guy that was eating the baby food earlier in the movie, who's like this, you can't tell if he's good or bad or just horribly retarded, but he like gives a thumbs up to Robocop after he shoots the guy and has this big grin on his face. Like, what is this? What is the purpose of this man?
I
Do you
love this guy because he's in all 3 movies and he's the same character. I love him to death. Because he kind of feels like how I would be if I was in that room. Like, I can identify with him. Like, this is probably what I would be doing too if I was in this boardroom. Oh my
Yeah.
god. That's pretty much RoboCop.
Yeah.
It's an absolute blast if you're into those kinds of movies. I think the one thing it does is, first of all, it doesn't take itself seriously. It knows it's a silly plot.
It does.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got that when it played the commercial for Nukem.
Right.
Right.
The family sitting around the battleship type game boards, and they end up nuking each other.
You would totally play that game with your daughter, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
It looked like a blast.
Yeah, the dad's like yelling at the son, like, "I'm closing my borders," and then the son's hand is precariously perched above this big red button.
You cut off my military supply lines. Nuke 'em. Now, overall, it's a great 80s action flick with a great sci-fi setting that I would recommend to anyone watching.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just a classic.
It's a classic of my childhood, so yeah.
It doesn't. I don't know if it would hold up to a new audience. Like if my daughter were to watch it in a few years, I couldn't imagine her being into it, or any young person, if they didn't have it growing up.
Right.
Millpool, you saw it. This is the first time you saw it.
Yeah.
Did
I
you-
loved it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, I get the whole 80s action style where it's, it's kind of, it's just about the action
Right.
more so than anything else. And is that what you mean?
Yeah, the setting, the dialogue, it doesn't hold up technically.
Right.
Especially when like you got movies like fucking the new Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy
Sure.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I-
Sure.
Yeah, like I think you kind of need some perspective on the technical effects that they're using and stuff.
Right.
Agreed. And I think the one saving grace of the film, other than it being the more humorous aspects being handled, I think classy for the film. It's not super over the top slapstick. In parts it is, but it flows with the film really well. And I think they set the character up, not going overboard with being like, seeing his day-to-day life. You see a couple flashbacks like what Wally talked about with him talking to his wife and with his kid, but it's just enough to set this character up like, okay, I really hate what's happening to him. I'm ready to see him start kicking people's asses. And I think that's all you need for that character, to be able to get behind him and follow this really kind of zany plot.
Yeah.
And that's one area where, they did a remake in 2014 of RoboCop. And I feel like that's where the film kind of failed for me. It was definitely designed for a modern audience, kind of what Guido was talking about. It would be a film that any kid or young adult would go into the theater and probably feel very comfortable with the technology and the graphics, special effects, and everything. It all looked very much on par in my opinion, but I really felt like the film lost a lot of its heart that it had, and it's kind of its vision, because RoboCop, the film in the 80s wasn't necessarily, it was about the action, but it had a really rich atmosphere in this kind of dystopian future, and it just felt like a more fun film than the remake did.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was just like trying to be too serious, I felt.
Right.
I can't, and it's so forgettable. I don't remember anything. Wasn't
It's
Michael
exceptionally
Keaton in it?
forgettable.
He was. I think he was he the main bad guy?
He was
think
the
so.
OCP president.
Right.
Oh, so it was a true remake?
Yeah.
Like to the T. Wasn't
Was it? No,
I thought it was pretty close.
No, there
It was
was an
damn
army
close.
of those guys on the streets cleaning up the town.
Yes, he does fight a lot of the, I don't know if they call it ED-209. It's very similar. He fights a lot more of those.
And there was like a drone and shit. Like they really militarized the robots.
Yes,
I think
yes.
the general premise was still the same. They just exacerbated that element.
Yeah, he gets instead of getting shot up, and then he get blown up in his car, like one of the mobs or whatever around the area puts a hit out on him or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. That movie's so forgettable.
It was
Yeah,
it
it's
was
not
not
worth it?
fun.
Not worth
No.
watching?
No.
I mean, if you
Okay.
can watch it for free on Netflix, go for it. You know, it's fine, but it's comparing the two. The original is just, it has a lot more heart in it than just, we're gonna make, you know, take a franchise that people already know, we're just gonna heighten it and forget about the characters, forget about what made the last film fun. But you know, it's a very modern action film instead of being a really iconic 80s action film.
Yeah.
They made there's Robocop 2 and Robocop 3. Did you guys see any of those?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
2 is actually directed by Ern Kushner. Did I pronounce that correctly? The guy who directed, most famously directed Empire Strikes Back. And I think it's good.
Frank Miller also wrote it.
Oh, did he really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Frank
It's
Miller
good.
of
So it's
Sin City
decent?
and 300 fame.
He's made some films.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's good. I don't like it as much as the first one, but I think it's worth watching. The third one's not that great. I don't even think it's the same guy playing RoboCop, but can't really tell because he keeps the mask on the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
I'd watch it definitely. At least the second one.
All right, maybe I'll check it out.
All right, guys. Well,
Okay, one thing.
okay, go ahead.
Thing. RoboCop is still relevant today because I want to show this to you after we were done recording. My sister got an engagement photo done. She just got proposed to, and she's gonna get married in the spring. And I took the photo and I put ED-209 in it. So
Nice.
I'll have to show it to you guys later. It's really funny. She's
Very
so mad.
nice. ED-209, that gun scene in where he kills the board member. I mean, I think that's a very iconic action scene. That's one I've definitely seen in highlight reels, and it's probably the biggest scene of that film that's always stuck in my mind. It's just how that guy just gets plastered, and it's
great.
so damn violent. Holy
Gets
crap!
riddled with bullets and then falls on the model of the city that they're building.
Oh
very-
my
very
god.
good.
It's such a great tone shift because you just kind of go into this boring setting up the plot, and then it just all of a sudden just gets really exciting. Like, why in the world did that thing have bullets in it? That's kind of the one part that's already stuck in my mind. Like, this is a prototype. They brought it for a demonstration. If they didn't mean for it to shoot anything, why did they load it? But that's discussion for another time. All right, guys. We have one film left on our.
Goo goo gaga,
No,
baby.
no.
What a tone shift.
I think it's really it's really saying something. We started the wheel with probably one of the best worst movies, or really one of the worst movies of all time, and we're ending it with Baby's Day Out, which I don't know how to classify it, but I'm having a lot of fun. I'm very excited to watch it.
It's gonna be
I
the
don't know if I
it's the
am.
greatest movie ever made. I mean,
No, it's gonna be something. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Wait,
for...
we gotta rank it.
Oh shoot, we do have to rank it.
I don't have a fucking clue how this works anymore.
I don't either. It's a big list.
I'd say above Battlefield Earth, for sure.
Well, I think that's at the bottom. I would agree with you, though. Yeah. I think this is my personally, this is my favorite one that we watched, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'd put it at the top.
All right, we're going to rank this film. All right, just so everyone knows, the whole list is number 1, Doctor Strange. Number 2 is Logan. Number 3 is Moana. That's higher than I thought it was. Number 4 is Rogue One. Number 5 was Adventures of Baron Munchausen. And number 6 was Poor Little Battlefield Earth. That just breaks my heart. It's at the bottom. Okay.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I ranked it higher on mine too.
We lost
Bottom of the
pretty
barrel.
hard. All right. I guess to start with you, Guido. Out of that list, where would you put
Oh
Robocop?
boy, this one's tough. I like it better than Moana.
I think I would put it up above Moana too. And
I think
really
I'd
like
put it
Moana.
also above Logan.
Okay. Okay.
I think. Well, I might put it above Doctor Strange too. It's just it's
Yeah.
more
No.
New number
classic.
1, baby.
It's more classic. I feel.
Yeah, I could
I
see
agree.
that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember so many. Of course, I've just watched it, but even before watching it, I could name so many more scenes from RoboCop than I could from
Right.
either Doctor Strange or Logan. I agree.
RoboCop's one of those movies where if you're surfing the channels and it's on, you're probably going to sit and watch it for a little bit. I couldn't say the same for Doctor Strange. I don't really have an inkling to go and rewatch Doctor Strange.
Oh, sure,
I
sure.
don't either. I guess, yeah.
So number 1? Are
I'm
we
putting
all in
it at number
consensus? I agree.
I'll take it.
I'll
I
do
could
number
see it
one.
going there.
You know what? I'll put it there too. It really is compared to all the other films on our list. I think it is by far the more classic of them, and it's one that everyone should watch. Most definitely. So we've now got a new number 1 film called RoboCop,
Damn.
1987.
It's going to have a short reign, let me tell you that,
Oh, you
because
think
there's going
so?
to be a new number 1 next time.
I
And
think
that one's
Battlefield
gonna
Earth
be-
is going to have another friend.
Oh, baby, day out. Oh, baby, day out. Oh, I can't wait.
Jesus Christ.
I'm very excited by this.
I still blows my mind that is it John Hughes? He wrote
Yeah.
the screenplay.
Yeah, he wrote the screenplay.
I just, oh man. All right, Baby's Day out next month, guys.
Damn.
I'm sure you can find it somewhere online for free.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, unless you get a free week, go stream. I am going to give you permission to go stream this illegally.
Hey, man. I don't know, man. They need that money. That little baby Bink, he needs that money for college.
Oh my god. One of us needs to figure out where that actor is now.
It was actually 2 act. I'm getting too into it. We'll save it for next
Oh my god,
time.
it goes, it
Holy
goes
shit.
further.
All those Baby Day outbacks.
The next podcast is just going to be Guido talking the entire time because he knows so much.
Yeah.
All right,
He
guys.
doesn't even need to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I had a blast. Thank you so much for watching this film, talking about it. Can't wait for next month. Everyone, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.